Hello, it's Mark Leibovit from VRTrader.com and the Leibovit VR newsletters. And this is a Leibovit VR tutorial here on Metastock for Tuesday, May 26th. We're going to be looking at Pep Boys from last week. But first, we're taking a look at my new homepage at VRTrader.com. And two things I want to bring to your attention. We have our Vice News Raw weekly free letter, which is available. You just come to VRTrader.com and sign up. No credit card information is required, and it is a weekly report. Also, I'm announcing the launch of Wall Street Raw Radio on the Genesis Communication Network. That's GCNlive.com, GCNlive.com, debuting this past weekend and scheduled for every Saturday morning, 10 a.m. Eastern. At VRTrader.com, we offer our Silver subscription, which is our daily market commentary, our Platinum, which includes that plus specific recommendations, our Leibovit VR Gold letter, which covers futures markets from gold to crude oil, our annual forecast model cyclical report, the Vice letter itself, which is a letter that provides specific recommendations. The Vice News Raw that I just mentioned is a free weekly report, but this is the paid subscription. And of course, don't forget about the Definitive Guide to Volume Trading, the Trader's Book of Volume, my book, which is also available in Chinese. Here at Metastock, we do offer a free 1-month trial to the Volume Reversal Toolkit that incorporates 3 versions of the volume reversal: the sequential, the directional, and the 2-day. Here on these videos, I use the sequential because it shows all positive and negative volume reversals. The directional filters out repetitive volume reversals and provides some stops. And the 2-day also provides some stops and basically gives you a 2-day trade, a theoretical 2-day trade, based on the assumption that following a positive and negative volume reversal, you get movement in the direction of volume for a day or two following the volume reversal. Looking at Pep Boys, we had a classic example of how volume precedes price last week. A positive volume reversal was generated on the 18th. Some accumulation came in here, and certainly somebody knew something, because 2 days later the stock gaps up on takeover rumors. We had a rising 533 stochastic. This is what I use as sort of a confirming indicator if you've been following my videos. So everything was in place here for a trade, a 1 or 2 day trade. In this case, a 2-day trade would have gotten you a nice trade on the 2-day indicator tied to that news story. But there's some pretty good correlation with the VRs. As a general rule, as you know, I put up a stock and I see how the VRs are working in that stock. Most of them do work, but it always pays to go test them. You can see here that a couple negative volume reversals that occurred here back in April and early May did result in some slightly lower prices. You did have a confirming downward stochastic. We also had a negative VR here back in mid-April. Same pattern, downtrending stochastic and some follow through. So there is correlation here, but the point of this video is how the dramatic move in PVY last week was called by a VR, and if you'd gotten in just for a day or two trade, you've been really surprised by that news story, the fact that it gapped up. And we see this happen a lot. So basically, insiders were at work here, and that's what this was all about. So again, thank you for checking in. This is Mark Leibovit, and we'll get you on the next update.